blind, we're not the lost. Walked on straight from my bed. We'll never look back. We're not the blind, we are the ones that face the mistakes that we make. We won't turn away. We're not the blind, we're not the lost.
Separate, but it seems the time has come that you run my life with no hope to fight, little time to hide. And I'm sinking under, drowning faster. Please just let me breathe. The air is leaving, and I'm lost in need of you again. You break me down. Code we all swore, for this life we have chosen. We are but soldiers to a common war we fight, and to this passion of love we may fail and die. I'm slipping further, we're falling faster. You're growing stronger. Less I grow weaker, and I know you break me down and you make
Once again, new series for us here, the Midwest Days of Thunder Cup Series. Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. It's Rockingham 150 brought to you by Jinx Shifters. Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Jason from your Signature Esports.
What is going on, everyone? Happy Thursday evening here. We are live for our first Arca race of the season. I don't even know what season we're on. I think we're on like season 5 or 6. You're going to be joined this season by Chase Harden. What's going on, man? Chase, you got a copy? I think Chase is having a little technical difficulty. We'll wait for him to get that figured out. But tonight we are joined by a new group of drivers here, coming in for this season for trying to work their way up to the Cup Series with our progressional style layout we have here in Mdot. And something new that Taylor put out this week is both trucks and Arca will be entry series. One quick fix in Arca, and as for trucks, that's still being debated. And the way Arca is going to work also is during super speedways and road courses, we will have open qualifying, which you're seeing right here, during our 55-minute practice. So basically the fastest lap during the practice session will be your pole sitter.
Do I have a copy?
Yeah, there you are.
Yeah, let's take a second.
What's going on, man?
Nothing much. What about you?
Nothing much, dude. Hey, gotta ask you, dude, you're the freshest guy coming out of Arca, man. What you looking forward to this season, and how long do you think it's gonna take for these guys to get settled in and familiar with each other's racing styles?
I think it'll take about, I don't know, it'll probably take about 5 or 6 weeks before everybody gets settled in and gets familiar with racing styles and everything.
Yeah, man, I'm looking at their schedule, dude, and it's probably one of the more trickier schedules I've seen for Arca. Going to Laguna Seca. They're also going to the Charlotte Roval. That'll be the final race of the regular season. The Daytona road course. So it's a little bit more trickier than what it was last season, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, especially with the road courses.
Yeah, I think you guys had one road course last season?
We had one road course, and I think it was Watkins Glen in the playoffs.
That's correct. So they go from 3 to 1.
Yeah, that should be very interesting to broadcast.
Yeah, and it also can be interesting because we have a bunch of new guys, and we don't know who's good on road courses and who needs a little bit more work on road courses. So when we go to road course, our usual, I wouldn't say back runners, but midfield runners, a mile and a half, so they might be the front runners at road courses.
Never know. It's always interesting here.
Yeah, that's for sure. It does get pretty interesting in Arca. But we got 30 laps here tonight, man. How many cautions you thinking? I'm saying I'm gonna be leaning to say 4.
I'm going with about 6.
You're gonna go with 6 cautions, huh?
I mean, it's these drivers' first race. I think they still got to get familiar and fill out each other.
That is true, and Also, Arca's a car that a lot of people they don't drive. I should say drive. They don't race too often once they got a D class because everyone knows that those races are
It's a wreck fest.
safety rating kill. Yeah, for sure. Once people get a D class, they don't touch Arca cars too much. So for some of these guys, this might be their first time driving this car in months, possibly even years. So it should be interesting to see someone that might be slow at the start of the season, but once he uses his car again towards the end of the season, they're winning all the races. But we got about 12 seconds left in technically qualifying here before we start gridding. A little bit more than 12. Once the checker flag flies, whoever is on a lap is able to complete that lap. I gotta ask you, dude, since you just raced Arca, what was the not counting the road courses, but what track layouts were the trickiest to get used to with these cars?
For me, I'm not a very good short track driver, so I'd probably say Nashville Fairgrounds. I did a lot of practice on Nashville Fairgrounds. That was probably the toughest track for me. Either that or Nashville Super Speedway.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, you guys actually went there last year. Yes, you guys did.
Yeah.
Or last season.
Nashville Fairgrounds is not too difficult, but at the time I had no idea how to drive short tracks. So it
No,
was
I'm a road. I'm not a road. I'm a short track guy. I like short tracks. Nashville Fairgrounds is tough. It's
yeah.
tough track.
I ran a lot of practice laps before I got used to it.
Well, we're waiting for. I think we're waiting for qualifying to finish up. It's the only downside to open qual. We take a look at our starting grid here. So starting off in the pole position is J.P. Snyder. I believe I said that name right. Outside of him would be Brady Price. Row 2 would be William Regan and Kevin Mahoney Jr. Row 3 would be Jason Racia and Connor Darnell. Interesting about Connor, he's actually more of a dirt guy coming over to try his luck here in the asphalt side of the oval. Row 4, you got Nick Joyner and Joshua Banks. Row 5, Brandon Hughes and Brian Tiffany. Row 6, you got Kevin Jordan and Josh Fassenbender. I believe that's how you say it. Row 7, you got TJ Hanley, and I'm going to say this right now, I might be calling his name out a little bit more. I actually have history racing around this guy on a different game called NASCAR Heat 5, but he was really clean races there, so I'm kind of looking forward to what he can do on iRacing. Outside of him, we got Jared McCauley. Row 8, you got Peyton Harden and Matthew Jones. Row 9, Max Matrice and Terry James. Row 10, you got Tyler Merritt, Tony Edrington. I'm going to screw up these names. Row 11, you got Jonathan Nance, Corey Bradley. Row 12, Jeff McCarter. And Chase, I don't think you're racing. That will round up the field, actually.
No, I'm definitely not racing.
I think before we start this race, I think one of the biggest adjustments to make with these Arca cars, these drivers are going to face here tonight, is the insane runs you can get in these cars in super speedways. I think out of all the cars that race in super speedway tracks, Arca gets the craziest runs out of nowhere. You know, 1 minute you'll be clear, next minute you look up, there's a guy passing you. It's crazy the runs these guys get.
That also causes a lot of checkups, though.
That is true.
Oh.
And also
The drafting on these cars are crazy good.
And it's fun. Very fun.
It's very fun, yeah.
I remember when you guys actually went to Talladega, compared to Daytona, it was like night and day. And the broadcast y'all racing at Daytona in that playoff race was fun because y'all are pulling some crazy moves off and keeping it on track and keeping it green. Got another question for you. We can't count the start because people are gonna go 3 out and start. But what lap do you think it's gonna be when people start going 3 wide all the way around?
I'm going to say 15 to go. I think is when people are going to start pushing their cars.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of 3 wide at Daytona. It gets a little sketchy. Day gets all right. Day gets a little wider. Daytona gets a little sketchy, especially with these cars. Also, if we do end up staying green, our fuel window is about 21 laps. If they stay green to lap 21, I will be amazed. And I'm not trying to dog on these drivers. It's just the whole aspect. You're getting a bunch of guys from bunch of different driving styles, racing styles, and you're grouping them up all on one track.
Yeah, and it's still their first race, so
We're coming out of turn 4 here, and getting ready to go green. And it should be interesting to see who's going to play it safe and who's going to be more aggressive, as someone's entering pit road already, I believe. Saw someone dive down low like he's going to pit lane.
Green.
He might have been on the wrong lane as we go green here with the 19 and the 42 leading us to our first green flag of the season. So far, no one's really hooked up right now. We got two by two in the front 2 rows, and everyone else kind of single filed it all the way back to the rear of the field, really. It's kind of shocking, if you ask me.
very shocking to see them back off this early. They're probably just trying to keep their car clean until the end.
Yeah, and that's another big change. It's going from 2 to 1 quick fix for this series. It's gonna produce a lot more. I think it'll produce a lot more cleaner racing, just because when you got 2 quick fixes, you're willing to push the issue early in the race. When you only got 1, I don't want to use that 1 quick fix on lap 1.
Looks like Matthew Jones and Terry James both already have a black flag.
Oof. As they're going 3 wide for the lead already. The 66 took advantage of 42 getting to the wall, and he's going to easily clear him. See, someone in that, I can't tell who's in that pink car. That's a 69 of Hughes going down low. That's another thing with racing super speedways, man. When you get hooked on that wall, if you're not careful, you can send the whole field for a ride.
Indeed, you can. It is hard to get off that wall in these Arca cars once you get on them. Once you get on that wall, kind of have to jerk the wheel, and once you jerk the wheel, well, doesn't end good.
Yeah, the 42 did a great job kind of getting off the wall smoothly there, not turning it too hard and collecting the whole field. But the 19 of Schneider, he's still going to be the leader of this race for now as we go lap 3 of 35. I believe the 20 of 49, I believe you guys said had a black flag. I believe they just served it. And the Terry James, I believe, is a returning Arca driver along with Tyler Merritt.
Looks like Matthew Jones still has that black flag. I wonder what he got it for.
I think he might have went and served 1, and he got a speeding penalty, maybe.
It's a tough break for Matthew.
It is, and things are starting to get dicey up front. We got 2 rows of racing about 7 or 8 rows back. So I guess people are already starting to lose their paces trying to make their way up front. I don't know about you. When I race super speedways, I'm the guy like I don't want to call him out already, but I'm like TJ. Back here, the last car in the lead pack, just making sure I can stay in that draft. That way if a wreck happens, I have an out route, and I'm not involved in the wreck.
Oh yeah, I stay in the back like 3/4 of the race, and then I just strike at the end.
Yeah, man, I gotta ask you now you're in here, dude. How much of an adjustment was it going from 2 quick fixes to none?
Oh, it was rough. That first race was very difficult. Because you can't make any more bold moves like you used to. It's difficult.
It is difficult.
Especially adjusting to it.
Yeah, it's difficult, and you really gotta be more aware on who's doing what on the track. It takes a lot more track awareness. The 18 looks like
my main goal.
looks like the 18 and the 40. They both have like a right side scrape, like or left side scrape, that they got into someone's right side at one point. Ooh, the 42 gets into the wall again. He's able to keep it up there. This 42. Oh, as I say that. Oh, 44 into the wall coming off the turn. Bunch of checking up going on. Wow, they all. Wow.
That was a great save.
I don't know how in the world they all made it through that. That's what we were just talking about. You get up in that wall and it just sucks your car up in there, and you have to yank it hard left, and you don't want to do that, especially at the front of the pack, because you collect the whole field in a wreck. So the 42 of Peyton Hart, not Peyton, that's Price. It's gonna take some time to learn these guys new names. Brady Price having some issues early on was getting into the wall. So far, our biggest mover is this number 4 of Max Matrice. He's moved up 11 spots right now. And for those who are just tuning in and this is your first broadcast watching, the way our points system works, as I say that, they're going to go 3 wide. The 4's going to get spun by the 44. And we got the big one already here at Daytona. As we'll go back and watch someone's point of view of this. I was just calling him out earlier, but we'll go back and look what happened with the 4 here. See if he got any help. As they went 3 wide, the 4 got a little sketched out, just collected the wall, and this little slightest tap of the 44 spun him around. So I got to ask you, man, who has that a good old meatball flag right now?
It looks like Jared McCauley is the only driver. Oh, Jerry McCauley and Max Matarese. I think I'm saying that correct, but it looks like only Jared and Max have the meatball right now.
So we're going to go ahead. I know I'm calling his name out. I'm not trying to play favoritism here. We're going to go ahead and take a ride on with TJ, because I was just talking about being the last car in the lead pack when a wreck happens. And this is why this is a strategy I use. You see the wreck happen in front of him, and TJ does a smart thing. He immediately gets on the brakes. Car gets in the wall, he lets off the gas, and he's already on the brakes. Smart move there by TJ, able to stay out of that wreck. Whoa, where the heck did 24 come from? The 24 got contact from somewhere, came flying across the front nose of TJ. Oh, the 43 Arca braked it. Did you say the 24 had a meatball? No, never mind.
Yeah.
So what I was trying to say before that wreck happened, for those just tuning in, this is your first time tuning into Mdot broadcast or watching Mdot race. The way the points work is, other than finishing positions, which I believe first place gets 40, and it goes down throughout the field, minus a point each position back. Fastest lap is a point. Most position gained is a point. Most laps led is a point. If you lead a lap, you get a point, and pole position a point. So if you play your cards right, you could technically get a total of 4 bonus points, I believe. Most position gains, lap led, most laps led, and fast. Yeah, if you play your cards right, you can technically get 4 bonus points. I've never seen it happen since I've been in MDOT. Still waiting for it to happen. That'd be pretty cool to watch.
That would be cool to watch.
And the kicker about this caution is once again, if it stays green, I don't think they have enough to make it, because they'll have about 24 or 23 laps left of green flag racing. Also, during the drivers meeting, Taylor said he forgot to put in the green-white checker, so we would have none here tonight. So if a caution comes out around lap 32, that would be the race, unfortunately. So if you don't like the fact it's not a green light checker, yell at Tabor.
I was looking forward to seeing some green-white checkered racing tonight.
That creates the most fun. That creates the most fun broadcasting, is a green white checkered finish, because there's so much mayhem and so much hard battling going on for a good finish at the end of the race, especially at super speedways.
Green-white finishes on the second green-white checkered. They're always fun to watch.
I like calling them green white wreckers, you know.
Yeah, there's always a wreck on that final lap somewhere.
I'm just scrolling through the field here, trying to see who might still have damage and opt to take their quick fix. Like lap 9 or lap 35. I'm the type of driver where I'll go in and on a super speedway and these are Arca cars, if I don't have more than a minute and a half in damage, I'll just let my crew fix up the damage and go back out and race and use a quick fix towards the end. But if you're towards that 2-minute mark, you might as well use that quick fix. Now, if you have a meatball, you might as well use that quick fix. Because I don't know if you've done this before, Chase, but I got involved in a wreck on a super speedway and went in to get use my quick fix, forgot to check it, and I had 30 minutes of damage, and it basically ruined my race because I couldn't check it once I stopped my pit stop.
Yeah, especially with the transition for some of these second-year Arca drivers, maybe. I don't know if there's a lot of them, but for the transition of them to go from 2 to 1 quick fix, using that quick fix here for just a tiny wreck might just come, like...
So, I know Tyler Merritt. I know he raced last season. I believe Terry James raced here last season. And Jason Racia, he raced here my last season in Arca, so 2 seasons ago. So he has raced with the 2 quick fixes, and this is his first time racing with 1. So those 3 would be your returning Arca drivers from what I can remember. And this is one of the bigger fields I can remember for our first race of the season. I think we're at 23 cars here tonight, so pretty decently sized field here. And man, I tell you what, Chase, I can't wait to see this league grow in the next couple years and really watch the whole team aspect and progressional aspect come into play. But we're back green flag racing as the 19 gets a great jump there, has a lot of help. 66 with no help, but the funny thing with these Arca cars is on the start of a green flag, you really don't need help to take the lead, as the 66 takes it over pretty easily from the 19 of I believe it's Brian Tiffany, I believe his first name is. So 66 is gonna most likely gonna get himself a lap lead here and a bonus point.
I'll tell you, points are key in Arca, man. I know a driver that I don't think he won 1 race, and he was still like 4th place in standings when playoffs started.
I believe you're talking about Ryan Simone.
Yes, I am. You don't have to win a race to make playoffs. I mean, it's always nice to, but as long as you keep it clean.
Coming from a guy who last community season won the Daytona race, it's nice winning that first race of the season and not having to stress out about making it in on points. And you're also able to take more risks during the season, try different strategies out, different styles of tracks. So getting that win the first couple of races and being able to kind of like get a little bit of relief, it's amazing. We got the 7 of... Oh, no, I thought the 19 is Brian Tiffany. The 19 is JP Snyder. The 7 is Brian Tiffany. He's going to get himself a lap lead this time by. It's going to take him time to learn their numbers to their names. It always does. I'll tell you what, Chase. These Arca guys are making new trucks look like fools right now. I'm seeing more cleaner racing out of these newbies than I did out of y'all returning drivers, man.
Listen, I don't even know what to say to that, man. They're racing pretty clean so far. 1 caution and 13 laps. That's really good for these Arca drivers.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. How they did the schedules. It's gonna be interesting. They're gonna go from a super speedway to what I like to call intermediate track or 1.5 miles to a short track. So it's gonna be interesting to see. We'll basically have your 3 main tracks you're gonna run in Mdot back to back to back, and see how these drivers handle each track.
It's gonna be a test, practicing every week for a different track.
That's for sure. And one of the things that's frustrating, not frustrating, but annoying as a broadcaster for Arca is watching these guys race the first time at super speedway. They might win a race, but yet they might not be one of the front runners at a 1.5 mile track. Because super speedways, it's a little luck and a little skill. It's a little of both. I don't like people, oh, superheroes are all luck. No, they're not all luck. It takes a little bit of skill to know how to handle that car in the draft, how to get the runs you need to make a pass, and especially how to hold off a driver or complete a pass on a driver on the last lap. As we go 3 wide for the lead, as the 66 going onto the double yellow. I don't believe he went below. I think that's something that race control is going to take a look over right there. You cannot advance your position going below that double yellow line. Oh, the 69 gets a little loose and going into the corner. He's going to go up and tag the wall, I believe. He might have got away with that one. That's going to put the 66 in the lead for a bit. The 95 is trying to get around him. First time we called his name out tonight. Or his number. 95 of Kevin Jordan. He's making his way up. Started in P12. Currently up to 9 spots. Your biggest mover, that 22 of Tony Eddington. He's up 13 as it stands right now. I'm butchering so many names, I guarantee it. Oh, it looks like the 95. I don't know if it looks like in your screen. He's missed his
Yeah, it looks like he's dragging.
Okay, I think it's just a glitch. I was like,
Hard.
how is he going so fast with his wheel being off? I was like, what in the world is going on here? But I think it was just iRacing glitching out there for a second. You saw that too, right? His left front wheel, okay? It was just
He was
me or
going
not.
that fast without a wheel on.
Yeah. I was like,
that
there's
car needs to
something
be
wrong
tested
here.
immediately.
I was like, we're needing a 95 to the hauler after the post race for an inspection.
Yeah.
With some decent racing here up front, as that front, there it is. The inside line is pretty grouped up. It's not letting that 69 really catch up to the 7, as the outside line only has really 3 drivers. It'd be interesting to see if they're willing to work with a 69, or if the 11 looks like he's trying to peek his nose to the outside to try to get around the 69. I believe that's what he's going to do. Is they're going to be, I thought they're going to be 3 wide going into turn 3. It looks like Matthew Jones has chose to disconnect from tonight's race, so he's no longer in the session.
That inside line is moving.
So here's the funny thing about these art cars, because I was in a big 400-mile race a couple weeks ago. If you can get a group going on that very high line to where your left side is just touching that white line, you can haul around this track and you can get crazy runs.
The momentum is insane.
But the thing about that is a lot of people don't like doing it, because if you leave that middle line open, someone's going to take advantage of that, and it's going to put you 3 wide, and that's not what you want this early in the race.
If you can get a group with the outside, if you can get an outside line for him, that outside line will move.
It's all about that momentum and drive off. Even on a track like this, you carry a little bit more speed off the top line, but you're also losing some ground because you're taking a longer way around the track. As we're 3 wide back here, it looks like with the 22. Ooh, the 22 going right in front of the 97. That was a close call right there.
That was a close call.
We go check in. Let's go check in on a 24, someone who's involved in that, our only caution of the race so far. Starting to make his way, I can't say make his way back to the field, kind of chilling in the back. I wonder if he accidentally used his quick fix. That's another frustrating thing is when you forget to uncheck it and you just barely get tapped and you get that 0x, Iris is like, oh, you must need a quick fix. Like, no, I don't want to use my quick fix.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about with pitting, is wasting your quick fixes is going to be a big thing this season. You definitely have, it's got to be like a second thing. Like, it's got to be in your mind to check before you pit every time you pit here.
So actually what I do, well, I can't do it no more with my quick fix. The 66 is bump drafting the 7, which, I don't know about that one. We're technically not supposed to do that, but every time I leave pit road, even at the start of the race, the first thing I do is click that box, make sure it's unchecked. And I've only had it happen one time where I forgot to recheck it. Other than that, I usually check it in time. Man,
It
these
is
Arca
very
drivers,
frustrating if you waste a quick fix.
these Arca drivers, they are putting on a show. If you're that 42, I'm looking back at the 42, he's getting a little bit of a gap there. You don't want to get that gap too much because then you're losing lead pack draft. And for some reason, this stays green. You're not going to be able to be in contention for a win at the end of the race.
Tell you what, once you lose that draft, your race is practically, I don't want to say it's over, but if there's a caution and you get lucky, it's not over. But if there's not a caution, if you're out of that draft, you're not in a good spot.
Yeah, that's definitely true, and that's one of the frustrating things about a super speedway is losing that draft, and especially if you lose it because someone either A, wrecked in front of you, or B, which you don't gotta worry about in these Arca cars, is someone side draft you too much, pulling you back where you lose the draft. We got Josh Fassenbender. He's working his way on the outside line. He was actually in one of my recruitment races I put on, and I believe it was actually at Charlotte, and he was pretty fast there. So he might be a guy to look out for next week at Kentucky.
Oh, it looks like we got some cars coming to pit road. There's 2 cars on the
Oh,
grass.
there's a wreck going on back there.
So it looks like out of that, William Reagan got a black flag. Brady Price has a meatball. Jacob Schneider has a meatball.
The 19 are pole sitter. Let's go back and see what happened there for these guys. I don't think that was them wanting to come to pit lane. It could have been. It's a little early if you ask me.
Yeah, I was
Going back and looking. No, 19 was planning on coming to pit lane there. Oh, looks like 19 completely missed pit lane. The slammed into the wall.
Oh, the 95's gonna slam into the wall.
Wow, I'm missing it. 95 having some issues. Let's go back and see what happened there.
I think what I saw is he got hooked.
Oh,
and-
he got slammed into by the 69 in the back end. The
tough
green
break for
flag
him,
pit
man.
stops are underway, causing issues already. I mean, the lucky thing for him is you're already on pit lane with a damaged race car. You don't gotta nurse your car all the way around. As the 11 of Fassenbender, he's all the way down to the apron. I don't think he's trying to slow down time. He don't want to make the mistakes everyone else has been making. That's gonna put the 36 in the lead here. 36 of Joshua Banks. He's going to lead his first lap of the season. As that right there is definitely a what happens when you don't practice entering pit lane under green flag conditions.
That's a big thing with super speedways. That's a big thing at any track, if you ask me. It's just entering pit lane. Just black flags can end your race.
Yeah, that is definitely true, and I got to give a shout out to the 36. He's actually running one of the my sponsor I run on my Arca car, Macro Tool, so hopefully he gets a podium finish. I got to ask him if he's a mechanic. I would probably say yes. But you got a pack of about 5 lead lap cars, and you got a big gap to 7th in the 88 of Bradley. And then you got an even bigger gap, 30 seconds behind him with Mahoney and Racia. So I feel kind of split up right now. And if I'm one of those cars that got a black flag, I'm praying for a caution at this point. It looks like we currently only have 12 on the lead lap.
That's a tough break for some of these drivers, man.
Well, and that's the tough thing about the super speedways, Dega and Daytona is iRacing. It doesn't really throw cautions when it should at these tracks. if you have a wreck like that on pit lane at a 1.5 track, caution's coming out. They're going 3 wide in the corner, getting around this lap car here. He's up into the wall.
Reads in the wall.
22 almost making contact with them, but everyone gets by that pretty easily. With 9 to go here, should be interesting when these guys come in. They're good until about 3 to go. So let's see if they end up pushing their tanks till they're empty. The funny thing about the 3 is the only reason we found out the fuel window is actually talking before the race. And he actually ran out of fuel while we were talking. He's like, "Oh no, I'm out of fuel." He's like, 22 laps. All right, that's good to know. I'm kind of curious if these guys are saving. Let's take a look at some last lap times here. These guys are running a 47.6. No, they definitely are not trying to save right now.
I wonder if we're gonna see a car run out of fuel in the main pack right here.
I don't think so. They still got about 4 laps before their tanks are empty. And these pack is such a big pack. I don't know. I think that pack, that Joyner is leading or was leading. Now the 6-6 of Mahoney is leaving. I think that they might be in position to take over the lead when this lead pack pits. Because those guys are single filed out 6 cars deep. And they're actually slowly but surely catching leaders as we're speaking. But the 97 with some help from the 22, he's going to try to get his first laps led of the race. That's the 97 of Connor Darnell, a dirt driver. However, you're having some fun with the asphalt side of racing. He actually was in the Cup duels last Friday trying to make his way to Cup as they're all coming to pit lane. 97, 36, 22. 4 is going way too fast. But luckily for the 4, he went in the dirt, so he's going to be able to come back on track. And I don't believe he's going to have a black flag, but he's going to lose a ton of time, and he is already a lap down. I don't know if anyone there got black flags. I don't believe anyone did. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna put the 66 possibly in the lead as they come through the tri-oval this time by, with 6 to go. Now 5 to go. No, still 6 to go. My apologies.
Where?
No, TJ Hanley. He's still out there. TJ Hanley and Terry James are still out there with a pack of lap cars. And I will say this about TJ. When I race with him on heat, I know it's a different game, whole different racing style. He knows how to save fuel. So I'm wondering if he saved enough. We got Terry James at 49. He's probably trying to save a little bit of fuel here. These guys got a 35-second gap to third place, so if they want to save fuel, they have enough time to do it, as looks like the 49 is coming to pit lane this time by. That leaves the 3, the only guy not to pit since the last caution.
The radio, TJ just said that he's going to pit this time by.
So TJ pitting this time by. And hopefully TJ knows not to take a full tank here. This should be just a quick splash and go unless he forgets to uncheck his tires, which I've done.
Hasn't everyone?
So TJ coming by this time, and don't believe he is going to get a black flag. I think he might have, unless pit road speed here is 60. I can't remember what pit road speed is. So let's keep an eye on the 66 of Mr. Kevin Mahoney. See if he's able to catch TJ in time. They're
Doesn't
just
look like
now
he's gonna
entering
block
turn
that.
3. I'll tell you what, these guys have shocked me with the racing they have put on here tonight.
One caution. That is crazy.
One
for the first
caution,
race.
and the worst part is, with no green white checkers, if a caution were to come out now, that would be the race. They would finish how they come across the start finish line. I believe TJ unfortunately is going to lose this PAX draft, so it's going to put Mahoney and Racia. Racia having Ethan Flanagan as his crew chief. Don't go below that yellow. Oh, I know a lot about Ethan. He's like me. We're both pretty savvy when it comes to pit strategy, and I think Ethan had him on the right strategy with a group of 4 cars right now, all within 0.5 of a second. And this lead lap cars up here. You got 66, 48, 8, and 7. Those are going to be your contenders that we come across the line for 2 to go this time by. Racia doing everything he can to try to get around the 66 machine, but you got to keep it above that yellow line. Looks like the 8. It looks like 8 might have drug his brakes a little bit there, trying to get a run this time by with the 18, giving him a little bit of help. 18 is going to be Reagan, who is currently your first car a lap down, as the 48 was looking to the outside, but the 8 had too much of a run there. Going through turn 3 and 4. If we get this white flag, there will not be a caution flag to end the race. It'll finish under green. We come across for a white flag going into turn 1. You got the 8 and 66 and the 40 all battling out with Tiffany a little bit behind him, possibly trying to look to get a run. We might be seeing some 3-wide racing coming off of the turn here. I don't like that camera view. 3 wide, they go down the backstretch with a 48 on the inside, 66 stuck in the middle, 8 on the outside. 8 gets a great run and a push from the 18. A little bit of contact between the 6 and the 8, 66 18, put the 18 to the wall. Coming off of turn 4, will Racia be able to get the run? Gets into the door, the 8 gets a little sideways. Racia's going to go below the yellow. It's not allowed. Oh, they wreck.
Oh my God, the 8's going to win.
I believe the 8 of Nance won that race. Racia went below the yellow. That's going to be an admin review for sure right there. The 8 of Jonathan Nance wins this race, followed by Kevin Mahoney and Jason Racia.
What a finish, man.
Let's go ahead and take a look from a far chase view. What happened to the 48 here? You're allowed to go below the yellow if you're forced down there. I don't know if he was forced down there. No, he was not.
He wasn't.
That's going to be reviewable by the admins. I'm kind of curious how the race official results are going to play out. I know when that happened to me, they just docked me a position, so I don't know if they're going to dock him down to 4th or if they're going to let him keep his 3rd place finish. It's going to be interesting to see. The 8 of Jonathan Nance. He don't wait for him to finish. He's just going to celebrate anyways. He's like, I'm not doing my victory lap. I'm just going to do burnouts right here. But everyone's still trying to get by. What a race that was to the finish.
What a finish, man. That's the thing about Daytona. It's the finishes are always amazing here.
I think actually what we are going to do, if he is still in the chat, he is. Let's go ahead and bring. I'll say let's go ahead and bring down Tabor. I don't know how they're going to score that. Let's go ahead and ask Tabor. Hey, what's going on, Tabor?
What's up, my man? How are you?
Hey, just brought you down here for some clarification on the finish that race. I know Jason was forced below, wasn't forced, went down below the yellow, so I didn't know if he's going to keep that 3rd place or if that's going to be under review.
It is under review right now. We're going to sort it out. I would lean on him keeping the 3rd place spot.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, because it looked like he wouldn't have lost the spot either way, so I'll just get you clarification on that.
Yep, and it doesn't matter either because he never advanced in position, so it's
Gotcha.
not going to matter.
Okay.
So,
thank you.
Awesome finish. You're welcome.
I can't drag you back up there, dang it.
I got you.
See, that's the part of the rule I did forget is if you don't advance your position, it's not going to be a penalty, which obviously he did not. He was in third place. I think he might have lost a position, actually. As we see him when he goes below the yellow. Yeah, he technically lost a position there. So that will not be a penalty. But wow, what a finish that was. We'll actually bring in our third place finisher, Jason Racia. What's going on, Jason?
Hello.
Hey, man, sorry, we took a while. We had to get some clarification with that finish there since he went below the yellow. But since you did not advance a position, they said more than likely your third place in the standing. But one heck of a race, dude. I know this is your first Arca race in a couple seasons, dude. So talk us through what's going on and what you wish you could have done differently on that last lap to get the win.
Yeah, so we took it easy this race the whole way. Just trying to not get in any big wrecks, you know. But on the last lap, I'm pretty sure we wish we went on the high side there, on the outside, so we could have got a run. But
Yeah, I feel you there, dude. But I don't know. For your first race back in a couple seasons, getting a third place at a track like this was only one caution, which shocked me. That's a way to come back to the Arca series, dude. I know you've had a chance to look at the schedule. So what's the next race you're really looking forward to?
yeah, it was a very dry race, and no, definitely not Dega. I'm not a fan of those kind of tracks, but I'm thinking Rockingham's gonna be a lot of fun when we get there, and obviously Homestead. I can't wait to have fun there.
All right, man. Well, congrats on your third place finish. I don't know if Chase has any questions for you real quick before we let you get out of here.
Yeah.
Good. Fantastic race, man.
Yep. Thank you.
No problem.
All right.
That was one heck of a finish. All right, next we're going to bring up... Who did get second? I believe Jonathan... No. 66 got second, correct? Yes, Kevin Mahoney got second.
Yeah.
What's going on there, Kevin? Kevin, you got a copy?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man? First and foremost, I didn't say it's Jason. He raced a couple seasons ago. Welcome to Mdot, dude, and what a way to make your presence known here at Mdot, getting the second place finish here at Daytona with only one caution, which was insane. Talk us through what's going on, dude, and what you think you could have done differently to win the race there.
Yeah, it's an incredible race. A great group of drivers here. So fun to join this league here. It's so frustrating. Probably should have had it if I just stayed low there. I thought I could maybe block the 8 and then 48 sniffed the inside there and got a 3 wide and able to claw back to a second instead of a third. I think is better, but just screwed up there at the end. But great race between the 8 and 48 there at the end, and just all fun all around there. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was definitely fun to watch y'all. This is my fourth season, Arca season in Mdot. I raced 2 of them. This is my second one broadcasting, and I think this is the least amount of cautions we have seen at a super speedway. So it was definitely fun to watch y'all, and really, it's gonna be really cool to watch y'all throughout the season, seeing how clean y'all race each other. Since you're new, I gotta ask you, dude, what other than super speedways, what tracks do you prefer, and what tracks, when you see that track on the schedule, type of track, you're like, oh lord, not this.
Always a little nervous on the road courses there. Stock cars and road courses don't always mix, but they can be some fun. If we can get to a couple mile and a half, get a long green flag run, get some reps in. I really like that. I can save my tires, I feel like. But overall, pick a track and let's just go have some fun. That's what I'm excited about.
All right, man. I asked Jason the same thing, dude. Looking at the schedule, what track are you most looking forward to or racing?
I think I'm most excited here. Kentucky next week, looks a lot of fun. I really like Charlotte there. Michigan can be really interesting, competitive. So there are a couple of good tracks there. Laguna Seca is probably the one I'm most scared about right now.
I think if you ask any of the Cup guys, they'll say the same thing. All right, man. We'll let you give out any shout-outs you want to give shout-outs to, and congrats on your second place finish.
Yeah, thank you. Keep it up. Let's go next week.
All right, man. All right, next we will bring up our race winner, Jonathan Nance, who, if he's able to make 80% of the races, he locked himself into the playoffs. So let's go ahead and bring him up here. What's going on, Jonathan?
Hey man, how's it going?
Hey man, what a race and what a finish, dude. If I remember correctly, I think you were in one of the races I actually threw up for a recruitment race. But man, talk us through what's going on that final lap for you, and let us know what tracks you're looking forward to and what tracks you aren't really looking forward to. Type of tracks.
Well, when the race first started, I knew I was going to take it conservative and stay in the back because these are a bunch of guys I haven't really raced with all that much. A lot of new guys. So I was wanting to save my faster pair for the last part of the race and just kind of stayed back there. We got through that first caution, and I thought, well, I might as well just make my way back up now. So I got up to probably fourth, and we pitted. It was kind of sketchy going on pit road there. But on that last lap, man, I told my teammate behind me, who was a lap down, dang good teammate, William Regan, shout out to him. But I said, I'm going to let you know when I go, and once I go high, we're going to stay high. We're going to make them pass us on the bottom. And that's what we done. And they tried to take it 3 wide. We got the run off the top, and I just held them off. I was pretty exciting.
Yeah, that was one hell of a push you got from your. I didn't know you your team at the time. I'm still learning teams and names and all this stuff. It's gonna take me a couple races to learn it. But now I know your teammate. That's one heck of a push you gave you there, dude, at the end of the race. And same thing I asked them. I'll ask you, dude. What track are you looking forward to the most, and what is your weakness when it comes to type of tracks? Because I don't know what you guys would like racing on. I don't know what you guys prefer. Some of these guys in our league, they prefer road courses over ovals. So I just got to ask you what your preference is.
I'm an oval guy. I don't like road courses. It's not my strong suit. I've been on this service for probably 2 years, and I've ran 2 road course races, which I need to do some practice because there's a couple coming up here pretty soon. But any oval in the Arca car, I love the Arca cars. They're fun to drive. Best thing to drive on here, really. I think they give you a challenge more so than the Cup cars. They're kind of like the Xfinity car, but maybe a little less off edge from the Xfinity. But yeah, these cars are fun.
Yeah, that's what I was talking to Chase about at the start of this race. Is out of all the cars in Super 2 I think Arcas are my most. They're my favorite and my least favorite just because the runs you can get and the bump dressing is why they're my least favorite. But they're definitely really fun to drive these mile and a half there. These Super Speedway tracks.
Oh yeah, the bump drafting aspect of it, I think it makes it a little bit more challenging and a little bit more fun on the super speedways. I kind of like not being able to bump as much. You can kind of touch and you can get by with it. You just have to know where that limit is, and a lot of guys don't.
All right, man. I do got to ask you one more thing. When was the last time you actually drove an Arca car before coming into this league? Official
for tonight?
Racing. Yeah, official.
Oh, official. I don't really run all that much official, but probably 6 months ago.
So this is kind of hopping into, you kind of had to relearn how these cars drive throughout the season, huh?
Nah, I run them a lot in hosted sessions. I'll host a lot.
Gotcha.
I'll run a lot of hosted races with them. It's my go-to, that and the dirt cars.
All right, man. Well, congrats on your win once again, dude. And looking forward to what you guys can do as the season progresses. One caution for 35 laps. The least amount of cautions I can remember in an Mdot Arca race. So congratulations.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, we're actually going to pull down Tabor real quick and talk to him. Hey, what's going on, Tabor?
It's going.
Hey, man, I got to ask you, dude, because this race shocked the hell out of me, dude. I think I brought you down here so you can talk about this group of guys. I think this is probably one of the best group of guys we have had to start off the season here in Arca.
Yeah, man. Arca season kicked off real nice tonight. Made my job easy upstairs in the booth. Got to talk about a lot of things that we're going to do as a league. So that was nice. This group of guys is awesome. Thanks to the recruitment committee that put in the work over the holiday season, the off season. They got a lot of these guys in here. Looking forward to their next race at Kentucky and for them to build off this momentum.
Yeah, I got to ask you right down here, man. Do you think it's just a group of guys we got, or do you think that dropping it from 2 to 1 is what really helped clean up the racing here? Because this is my 4th season, Arca, since I've been here. I can't remember a super speedway track where we only had 1 caution. We're usually 4 or 5 cautions deep at a race like this.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a combination of both, right? I think this group of guys is really good. I think that moving the one faster pairs, you really got to think before you do. So, um, it's gonna be a lot of fun. When they get the chance to race trucks on Tuesday now too, they're not gonna have any faster pairs. So
Oh, so it's official. No faster pairs than
yeah,
trucks.
gonna get a lot of fun. Gonna be kind of how the rest of the big guys are up in the upper leagues. So, like I said, I think the one faster pair has helped, but I think this group of guys is just really good.
Yeah, I'll say that for sure. I remember I was giving Chase some crap earlier. I was like, man, these Arca guys are making you returning truck drivers look a little silly out there. One caution, 35 laps. I think it wasn't even a really big caution. I think they told like 5 cars that had to use a quick fix out of that caution.
Yeah, wasn't really that big of a deal. Just someone had a run that just had a run they couldn't do anything with, and that's typical of super speedway racing. They sometimes you just can't do anything with the run, and you just got to eat it and hope for the next one and see if you got any space. And that's really the only thing that I really saw tonight. The finish was awesome, so really proud of these guys.
All right, man. We'll catch you later, dude.
Yep, you have a good one.
Real quick. All right, guys. That will conclude tonight's broadcast. Didn't really have time to give a rundown of the schedule coming up just because it was phenomenal racing. Only one caution. Just a quick rundown of our schedule this next upcoming week in Mdot. We have our Cup Series starting their fourth season off at back here at Daytona for 60 laps of racing. If you guys have been watching Mdot for a bit, it's your first time tuning in for that, as that will be our first ever Mdot race. We will introduce stage racing into it, so that should also play a factor in how the racing is done, aggressiveness of racing, and pit strategy as well throughout the season. We then go live Xfinity Monday night at 9. We will be going to our first road course on the schedule, 35 laps at Mid-Ohio. So a little bit, not looking forward to that for sure, but a little bit of patience and mental awareness to be going on there. Our truck series will be live next Tuesday at Auto Club, so that will be very interesting race to watch with how those trucks handles at Michigan and Auto Club, the sister tracks. If you know what you're doing, they are very, very, very fast there. Multiple lane racing, so it should be some really good 2-wide racing going on there. And then, as you heard some of these guys say earlier, our Arca season will be going to Kentucky next week for 60 laps of racing. So really looking forward to what this group of guys can do. I am still absolutely shocked we only had one caution. That blows my mind.
That is crazy, especially for like these first-year drivers, first race. The fact that they were able to do one caution is insane to me.
Caution. I mean, if you were going to get technical, it should have been 2, but still,
Two cautions is still pretty good.
Yeah, I was saying 4, you were saying 6. We were both way off.
Yeah.
So I gotta ask you,
thought there's gonna be more.
Yeah, you'll be with me next week, man. What you looking forward to at Kentucky? You think there's gonna be a little bit more cautions, or are you seeing some long green flag runs coming into effect?
I think we're gonna see some long green flag runs, but I'm very interested to see if these guys are actually gonna be really good at like I want to see like the strats that they pull off in the in the speedways.
Yeah,
because it's way different than super speedways.
Yeah, and like I said, that's one thing that makes broadcasting Arca tough. AAA, they have a little bit of knowledge of who's fast where. For example, Skylar Carnes dominated last season, as you know. So they already know Skylar Carnes can be a force to reckon with come Xfinity season, actually. But here in Arca, now in trucks, I'm blinded. I don't know who's fast where. It's going to take a couple times going to each track for me to learn who's going to be fast where. So it's going to be really interesting to see as the season progresses, see which names are going to be up front most and which names are going to be more towards the middle of the pack.
Yeah, that's the fun part about broadcasting Arca, though, is seeing the new drivers.
It is. It's fun broadcasting Arca because it's fun watching these drivers come in. Someone like Ryan Simone. Watching them really progress through the season, getting a little bit faster, getting some better positions. 5th place going into the playoffs and points. And now he's in truck, so it's going to be really interesting to see some of these guys progress throughout the season. And because as you're on a team, you start learning some tricks and trades to how to race these tracks, how to make yourself faster, how to save tires, pit strategy. So it's gonna be interesting to see as the season progresses, these guys progress as well in skill. But we'll catch you all. I'll catch you guys Tuesday and next Thursday. Triple A broadcasting crew catch you guys tomorrow night. And if you're not busy, definitely tune in for that race. As I'm kind of interested to see how stage racing will play a factor into that race. Actually, not that race. This season coming up. Not only stage racing, but also the choose rule coming into effect for Xfinity and Cup. And I believe trucks, I'm not quite sure. I got to get with Derek on that one. But the choose rule for the leader will be in effect with Xfinity and Cup as well. So it should be interesting to see these few changes come into effect and see how that